All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about Telangana, one of India's newest states. And for the past decade, it's been one of the most dynamic places in the country. But what makes it so fascinating is this powerful contradiction at its very core. It's like a place of two completely different worlds, moving at two totally different speeds, but somehow they're powering this single, incredible engine of growth.
And to really get a handle on Telangana's just explosive growth, you've got to stop thinking of it as one single place. It's really two. You've got this hyper-modern global city on one side, and then you have this vast, ancient agricultural heartland on the other. They're existing right next to each other, and believe me, the tension between these two worlds, well, that's the key to understanding the whole story.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates the sheer scale of that divide. I mean, just look at these numbers. In the urban heart of Hyderabad, you've got more than 18,000 people packed into every single square kilometer. It's a full-on megacity. But then, you head out to a rural district like Mulugu, and that number plummets to just 66. 66? It's that wild contrast right there that defines both Telangana's biggest challenge and, honestly, its greatest opportunity.
So how did we even get to this point? Well, this modern state wasn't just, drawn on a map. It was forged in fire. Its whole identity was born from this decades-long struggle, a fight for resources, for respect, and for the basic right to even exist. And what's really wild is that the root of all this, it was identified way back in 1953. I mean, check out this quote from an old government report. This was from a commission that was literally redrawing the map of India. And it just lays it all out, plain and simple. The people of the Telangana region had this deep-seated fear that their water, their money, and their jobs would be snatched away and controlled by outsiders. And that fear, that became the rocket fuel for the entire statehood movement. So yeah, this wasn't some sudden event. It was a long, grinding story of pure persistence. The warnings back in '53 were pretty much ignored, which led to massive and tragic protests in 1969. Then, the movement got unstoppable political momentum in 2001, with a party created for that single purpose. And finally, after decades and decades of pressure, it all culminated in the birth of the state in 2014. Okay, so with that hard-won history as our backdrop, let's look at the first of Telangana's two incredible engines. This is the hypermodern, globally connected economic beast that is Hyderabad. This is the engine that really generates the wealth. And the numbers, they're just staggering. For 2024-25, the state's total economic output, its GSDP, is projected to be over 16 trillion rupees. To put that into perspective for you, we're talking about an economy that's worth nearly 200 billion US dollars. That's huge. And all that economic firepower translates directly into prosperity for its people. The average income here is more than double the Indian national average. That puts Telangana firmly in the top tier of high-income states in the country. So where's all this growth coming from? Well, a massive piece of the puzzle is the technology sector. In a year where national IT export growth really slowed down to just about 3.3%, Telangana's tech exports just surged by over 11%. That tells you just how resilient and powerful this part of the economy is. And this chart makes it crystal clear. Over 65% of the entire state economy is driven by the services sector. We're talking IT, finance, real estate, the whole shebang. This is the profile of a modern post-industrial economy right here. And what's really fueling this tech boom is a major shift up the value chain. See, it's not just about back-office support anymore. Hyderabad has become a massive hub for what are called global capability centers. These are basically the in-house tech and R&D nerve centers for huge multinational corporations, where they do their high-end research, their product development, even global strategy. Okay, so now let's take a journey. We're going to leave the gleaming glass towers of the tech parks and head out to the other engine of Telangana. This is the agricultural heartland, the socio-economic backbone that directly supports the livelihoods of nearly half of the entire state's population. And look, this isn't just any old farmland. Telangana has pretty much transformed itself into the seed bowl of India. It's incredible, really. Despite having semi-arid geography, smart, targeted policies have turned it into an absolute powerhouse for producing the very foundation of Indian agriculture. And it's a leader in really high-value cash crops. The state produces a full 25% of all red chilies in India, and its premium Teja chili is a hot commodity on the international market. Plus, it's always consistently one of the top 3 cotton producers in the entire country. But, and this is a big but, This powerful engine is also super vulnerable. Things like climate shocks and wild price swings can be devastating. So the state has stepped in with these huge financial safety nets, like literally writing off all farm debts up to 2 lakh rupees, that's about $2,400 for every single eligible farmer. The biggest intervention, though, well, it's a solution to that historical problem that fueled the statehood movement in the first place: water. The Kaleshwaram project is this unbelievably audacious, multi-billion-dollar attempt to basically re-engineer the geography of the entire region. It's a real marvel.
The scale of this thing is just mind-boggling. You can think of it as a man-made river. It uses some of the world's most powerful pumps to literally lift water from the Godavari River, push it hundreds of meters straight up, and then transport it through these massive underground tunnels to water millions of acres of farmland that used to be completely at the mercy of the monsoon.
So, all of this brings us to the most crucial question, right? You've got these two incredibly powerful but totally different engines. How on earth do you connect them? How does Telangana plan to build a bridge between its two separate worlds and create a truly united future?
Well, the answer really comes down to one core strategy: decentralization. The state's entire future pretty much hinges on its ability to systematically push the wealth, the infrastructure, and all that opportunity that's generated in the capital city outward, into the rural areas.
And you can see this strategy playing out in huge infrastructure projects, like the regional ring road. This is not just a highway. A 340-kilometer expressway like this is an economic corridor. It's designed specifically to pull industrial development and jobs away from the congested city center and spread them out into 20 different towns on the periphery.
Another major part of building that bridge is just direct wealth redistribution. The state has committed over 53,000 crore rupees to this massive social welfare framework. These 6 guarantees are designed to use the money from that tech engine to directly support the population, making sure the benefits of the urban boom are felt in the fields and villages through everything from free electricity and housing to direct financial aid for farmers and healthcare coverage.
And if we look even further down the road, the vision is to build entirely new centers of gravity from scratch. The planned future city is a perfect example: a massive 30,000-acre smart city built from the ground up on sustainable principles, designed to be another brand new economic hub. So, at the end of the day, here's the key takeaway. Telangana is performing a very high-stakes balancing act. It's using a world-class, globally integrated tech engine to generate enormous wealth, and then it's channeling that wealth into massive, almost unprecedented support for its traditional agricultural base. That is the dual-engine model in action.
And that leaves us with the big final question. Is this a sustainable model? Could this actually become a blueprint for development in the 21st century? Or is this strategy just creating a dangerous dependency, where a slump in one sector could bring the whole state down? Can this high-tech, high-spend model really unite these two different worlds? Or will that huge gap between the city and the countryside prove to be just too big to bridge? I guess the next decade is going to tell the story.